Welcome to the most deleted, shadow banned, demonetized, censored, and trolled channel on social media. Recipient of the Patriot Warrior Purple Q Award. Hello, this is Dave from Net4Truth USA, Inglorious Patriots. It is September 13th, 2025, and the time now is 01:05 hours Eastern Time here in beautiful southern North Carolina. It has taken me 2 days to wrap my head around what just happened, as it took a while to wrap my head around Butler, Pennsylvania a year ago. We have seen the generational indoctrination of absolute lunatics in this country. And all of these people who are celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk and putting that bullshit online should be doxxed and exposed to whatever organization they belong to, whatever employer hires them to do work, and they should be fired, and they should be arrested for fomenting insurrection and fomenting violence. There's not enough jails to hold them all. My reaction doesn't have words to describe. But my father fought the fascists in World War II, and I fought the fucking commies in Vietnam. And I'm going to tell you right now, take a good look at this face. Take a good look at this face. Do you think I'm fucking around? If you so much as open your mouth to call me a fascist, I will fucking kill you. I will fucking murder you. I'll beat you so fucking hard you won't even know what the fuck hit you. That's my response to you, you pieces of shit. And you know what? That statement that I just made just now shows how infectious this virus is. But when you got somebody coming at you, your only choice is to defend yourself if you want to live. And when somebody is plotting to destroy your country and has the resources to do so, if you don't fight against it, then you deserve every fucking thing you get. These people don't know what fascism is. Anti-fascist. My father was an anti-fascist, you motherfucker. And I'm an anti-communist. And you're both of them all wrapped up in one big ball of fucking shit. And I tell you something else. All you fathers and mothers who are working hard to send your kids to college, cut that shit off. Because all college does is is indoctrination. They don't teach these kids anything useful. And this goes back years. This is not something new. This goes back decades before I was born. All these Ivy League colleges. You know why they call them Ivy Leagues? Because they got ivy growing in the front of the building. They're too fucking lazy to go cut that shit off, so they'll let it grow into the bricks. They think that looks cool. Ivy League. I'll take a guy who works as a carpenter over some PhD pile higher and deeper motherfucker any day of the week. In fact, when I lived in Queens 40 years ago, in Queens, New York, there was a guy living next door to us who was a PhD. Pile higher and deeper. You know what his profession was? He was a professor of political science. And let me tell you how stupid this asshole was. One day he comes out to get in his car to go to work. Work. They call it work. Indoctrinating people who don't know any better. And he had a flat tire on his car. This dumb motherfucker didn't even know he had a spare in the trunk. My father had to come out and change the tire for him. That's how stupid these motherfuckers are. Now, this guy, I was right. When he was walking up the stairs, he didn't have a weapon with him. And the pictures that were released by the FBI didn't show him carrying a weapon. They said, well, he stuck it down his pants. He stuck it down his pants. He stuck a fucking 30-06 Mauser down his pants. Now, I don't have a 30-06 Mauser. I don't have one. But I'm going to show you something. I want to show you something. Just wrap your head around this, the bullshit that people willing to believe. Total, fucking, absolute, unmitigated, unadulterated bullshit. I want to show you. Now, this thing here is about the size of a Mauser. It's a PCP air gun. Let's see, how the fuck does this work here? This is my nephew's. This is my nephew's. See a big fucking bottle of shit behind it? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna stick this shit down my pants. I'm gonna stick this shit down my fucking pants. And I'm gonna hold it up. How am I gonna hold this shit from falling down? This thing weighs about 8 pounds. A Mauser weighs about 7 pounds. So it's about the same. Are you fucking kidding me? The fuck out of here with this bullshit. Stuck it down his pants. The absolute bullshit that people are fucking willing to believe. To not and expend the mental energy to figure shit out for themselves is absolutely fucking amazing. It's absolutely fucking amazing. Now another picture just came out. Remember I told you that camera angle was at eye level? It is at eye level. Because the camera shows some other guy standing in the stairway with his sleeve right there. Right in the camera's face. So somebody's sitting there taking a picture behind another motherfucker who's standing in front of this guy. And he jumps off the roof. He didn't have the rifle with him. Turns out, this bag of shit was talking about this shit on Discord. And he had a friend, or a couple of friends, to help him out. This was a conspiracy to commit murder, to commit an assassination. They should send this son of a bitch over to Africa, down in the middle of fucking Uganda some fucking way, and let him sit there in his own shit for the rest of his fucking life. Never mind killing him. That's too good for him. We ought to bring back public executions. Public executions. Now, I didn't make this video to say I was right. I was right. I'm always right. Because I don't believe the bullshit that they say. I take their bullshit the clips that I saw on video all over the place, and I say, whatever they tell me, the opposite is true. Whatever the bullshit that they spouting out of their mouth is the opposite of the truth. First they said, oh, it was transgender. The shit that he had on his ammunition or on his rifle didn't have nothing about transgender. It's easy to say, well, it was transgender because 7 other motherfuckers who had chopped their dick off and regretted it later and got pissed off went out and killed people. But if you're that fucking crazy that you want to mutilate your body and become Big Pharma's customer for the rest of your life, more power to you. More power to you. I really don't give a rat's ass. Word has it that he's being harassed and assaulted in jail. When this guy goes to prison, you have state charges first and then federal charges. He's never getting out. He's never getting out. But that doesn't bring back Charlie Kirk. And you got demented, disgusting, satanic motherfuckers on the other side celebrating his death while his little girl, when she heard the gunshot, tried to run up to him because she got scared. And that's a fact. And if that don't bring tears to your eyes, I don't know what does. I don't know what does. If you're a human being, that's got to touch you somehow. And I'm at a loss for this. And when I started this back in 2015, I never thought it would get this bad. I never thought it would get this ugly. It's disgusting. And it's a shame that people of my age have never had even a taste of what this country could have been without people like what you're about to see, exposed for who they truly are. These people do not belong in this country. Their citizenship should be revoked, and they should be put on a fucking plane and sent to Uganda or sent to Seacot to live off the rest of their lives smelling fucking burrito farts by 80 other motherfuckers in the jail with you. And that would be too good for you. And the sad part of it about it is, if it wasn't for the indoctrination that these schools are brainwashing our kids with, none of this shit would exist today. We got to get back to the Pledge of Allegiance and the 10 Commandments. And whoever doesn't want to abide by those rules needs to pack their shit and get the fuck out of my country. These people want a civil war. And when I say these people, I mean the people that you never even heard about. You didn't know their names. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and all these other fucking puppets. They're just puppets. They're on a string. They're on a string, like fucking puppets. They do what they're told. They do what they're told. Spread the bullshit. Do what they're told. The people who are really running the fucking country, nobody knows who the fuck they are. I can tell you who they are. They're the Rothschilds, pursuers, Soros. Those are the motherfuckers. If you want to kill some son of a bitch, Go pop a fucking cap in that motherfucking testicle face motherfucker's face. Go do that. Those are the fascists. You want to lay in wait, shooting from cover? You don't even know who the fuck your target is. You're murdering the people who are trying to free you, you dumb bastards. You're a fucking bunch of idiots. And I'm saying it for years now. I've been saying it for years. There is no negotiating with a bully. The way you deal with a bully is you fucking break his fucking face. I learned that when I was 17. I was walking down the street with my girlfriend, and 3 bastards came up and started feeling her up, thinking that I wouldn't do anything. But what they didn't know is I was then a brown belt in Shotokan. I studied at the Goju Ryu Kai Gym on West Broadway in New York City. And I fucked one of them big time. I snapped an antenna off a car and I lashed his face from his upper cheek here down to his throat with a fucking car antenna. That's when the car antennas, you could just bust them off. Boom, and whap! Use them as a whip. The other guy, I pounded his face so bad, broke his nose, gave him 2 black eyes, and the other guy just took off. That's how you deal with bullies. That's how you deal with these scumbags. Because that's the only language they understand. Unfortunately. Charlie Kirk tried talking to these people. And when he won the debate, because they have no logic, no reasoning, and no structure to what they believe in. They just believe bullshit. Fucking rainbows and unicorns. They responded by killing him. So, if you want to deal with these people, this is how you deal with them. Every one of these sons of bitches on TikTok and on social media celebrating Charlie Kirk's death should be arrested, their citizenship revoked, and they should be sent to fucking Uganda or Sikot or some other fucking shithole to lay out the rest of their lives regretting what the fuck they did. And you could say, well, they're victims of the indoctrination. Well, you know what? I went through the same schools they did. I didn't come out like that. A lot of people went through college and didn't come out. Like a bunch of fucking psychopaths. But anyway, I'm going to end this video and I'm going to attach a few videos that I think were the top ones that I've seen so far. And I ask all of you to pray for Charlie Kirk's family. He's got a GoFundMe up there. I'm sure there's a lot of support for this great man. And I'm going to end this by saying, I'm Charlie Kirk. Thank you for watching.
So the day Charlie was shot, I was so focused on figuring out what had happened, why it happened, that I haven't really been able to talk much about Charlie, who he was. So that's how I want to start today's video, and I am going to do my best to try to get through this. I didn't know Charlie personally. I have many mutual friends who worked closely with him. But there is one thing that I have always judged another man on. It's not how you look. It's not your presence. It's not how much money you make. It's not how many things you have. It's not what you do for a living. It's faith. How do you choose to live this life? Is it based on honoring God, or is it based off of simple desire? And in a world now where everything is modernized, sex is glorified, gambling is glorified, the easy way out on life is glorified, and faith, Christianity, God is all put in the background. Charlie was a spear in terms of bringing that to the forefront. Not only for me, not only for many others, but for the youth in this country, the people who are going to inherit it. So to his wife, Erica, you probably have everyone offering right now. But if you need anything, just understand that people will go to the end of the world for you and your family. To his beautiful kids, Charlie was asked a couple of weeks ago, if he was just gone, what does he want to be remembered by? Faith. Not all of his accomplishments, not all the monetary gain that comes from being so passionate about something that the money just follows. Your dad was a legend for God.
How do you want to be remembered?
I mean, if I die?
Everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith in my life.
And for everyone out there who thinks that now Charlie is gone, nobody will replace him. You're right in the fact that Charlie was one of a kind. But you have created millions of new people who want to be like him. So you didn't win.
I'm not going to worry about offending anyone, because my relationship with Jesus Christ is more important to me. And it always should have been, and for that, my heart hurts. But that changes today.
They just found the shooter, and the left is pushing that it is a right-wing person. Why would that make any sense? Governor Cox has Kash Patel behind him, the director of the FBI, and he's saying there is an engraving on one of the bullets that says, "Hey, fascist, catch."
But I want you to look at how Utahns reacted the last two nights. There was no rioting, there was no looting, there were no cars set on fire, there was no violence. There were vigils and prayers and people coming together to share the humanity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is the answer to this. We can return violence with violence. We can return hate with hate. And that's the problem with political violence, is it metastasizes, because we can always point the finger at the other side. And at some point, we have to find an off-ramp. Well, I will leave that up to you to interpret what those engravings mean. I think the clearest one that says "catch fascist," there's not, and by the way, that's like catch like a ball, catch this. I think that speaks for itself.
You know what that is? That's Antifa talk. That's left talk. That is not right talk. So I have always had a rule on the channel that I have never shown the face or said the name of somebody who kills somebody in cold blood. And there is one reason why. I don't think the person should be glorified. I don't think they deserve any kind of platform out there that gives them any kind of recognition, because a lot of the times that's why they do this, because they're so lonely in their lives, they're so insecure that the only way that they can feel like they did something in their life is say, "I got on the news." So this 22-year-old from Utah, here's what he was. He was a straight A student. He was getting scholarships to Utah State.
Congratulations, you have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
And apparently, this guy's roommate is the one who reported him. A lot of people are saying that his dad is the one who actually turned him in. But there were Discord messages stating somebody needs to retrieve a rifle from a drop point. Now, after seeing all this stuff, I want to say to the FBI, you guys have put out a whole bunch of essentially propaganda at this point. You started with the shooter was trans. You started with there were trans engravings on the bullets because there was an arrow. Those are normal engravings on bullets. The ATF doesn't know fucking squat about their own job. So here he is during the shooting running off of the building. Where's the gun? He had this tiny little backpack that you probably couldn't fit a short-barreled AR into, like 11 inches, unless you had something to where you could fold it in half. But that's not the gun he used. He used a 30-06 hunting rifle. You don't break those down. Sure, you could take the barrel out, but it's going to take you a long time, and that wouldn't be worth it anyways, and the barrel would still be sticking out of that backpack because it's so long. But the FBI puts out that they found this rifle in the woods. He doesn't have a rifle when he's walking up. He doesn't have a rifle on the roof when he's running away. Why would he drop it in the woods? Some people may say, oh, well, maybe it was a decoy. Why? If you have any kind of sense in a situation like this, why would you risk having your fingerprints, DNA, and several other things on a decoy weapon? It doesn't make any sense, but they found it literally hours after this thing. How did it get there? Where is the actual gun that was used during this? Because it sure as hell is not that one. These are answers that need to be brought forward. Finding the guy is not enough. Because you know what happens whenever something like this happens in America? 9/11, for example. We are fed total bullshit. And everyone thinks that we're so stupid and so naive and don't question anything that we're going to be like, oh, okay, sure. You guys just found a rifle in the fucking woods a couple hours after, even though there's video of him not running with the rifle after he was shot. The rifle most likely is still up there, or he used a different gun that could actually fit in that backpack. Also, why would he have a box? Like what, is he planning on shipping it after or selling it after? Gotta have the box there when I dump it in the middle of the woods. Now, as far as the shooter goes, you don't deserve a trial. Prison is the highest end resort right now for what you've done. You should not be getting 3 meals a day. You should not be getting a shower. You should be in the coldest cell possible, buck nude with no blankets. But what should be done? We're gonna have this rigmarole where we go through a trial and we say, oh, he deserves the death sentence. That's not good enough. You think an injection that's painless matches up to what Charlie just went through? No. This is a time where we bring back public executions, because that's what happened to Charlie. He was executed in broad daylight for simply having a conversation with people and trying to open people's eyes as far as what's going on in America. Why wouldn't the killer get the exact same thing, only worse? But as far as the FBI and any other 3-letter agency continuing to feed us all bullshit, stop. Because now everybody questions everything.
Well, there are rumors flying all over the place regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination. Everything from his ring mysteriously switching fingers to a book being written about his shooting the day before he was shot and murdered, to billionaires sending him all kinds of money, to Benjamin Netanyahu being behind it, to, well, even some people are out there claiming he didn't really die. The whole thing's faked. I mean, my goodness, that one probably pisses me off the worst. But anyway, rumors are flying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to address a majority of those, at least the ones that I know about in today's broadcast. And because a lot of you have really been asking about these, and I think it's worthy of addressing, especially since this is happening to a fellow conservative commentator like Charlie Kirk. And I want to make sure he is respected. But let's start first with the book ordeal. This came out recently on the Times of India and actually many other sources here, but here's the book title: The Shooting of Charlie Kirk, a mysterious book on Trump allies' murder surfaces online, published the day before the attack. And you can see the screenshot of the book right here. Well, I did some research into this book and into the author, Anastasia J. Casey, by the way. So originally I went to Amazon. Now, if you go to Amazon and you plug in this book today, nothing comes up. They completely wiped it from their system, right? However, I went to the Wayback Machine like I do, and I plugged in the book here, and this is the book that I just referenced a moment ago. This is that shooting book. And I thought, okay, well, let's find out if it was really published the day before. What is the deal on all of this? So I went back to the Wayback Machine, and the earliest screenshot they have of this book is September 11th, literally the day after. And that's the first screenshot, which means more or less the day that it got published on Amazon looks like it was September 11th. Now you click on that screenshot. This is what comes up: The Shooting of Charlie Kirk. And you can see the book there. It has this breakdown on September 10th, blah, blah, blah. All of this happened. And then you look a little bit down further and you see publication date, September 9th. All right, it's got a publication date of September 9th, right? You scroll down a little bit and you also see publication date of September 9th. Now, obviously, I have a few problems with this, right? So if you go back, the first date that this was actually on their archive, but you could see it's September 11th. Wasn't published on the 9th, it was published on the 11th. So then I proceeded to ask AI and Grok, hey, can someone select their own publication date on Kindle there in Amazon? Yes! Authors using Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing can select a future release date for their printed book, paperbacks, and hardcovers, which determines when the book goes live and is available for purchase on, therefore, Amazon. Now, rightfully so, Amazon has removed the book, and like I said, it's no longer available. Thank God. So in other words, my opinion, this is fake news, and they put out a bogus publication date to throw everybody off. That's a first rumor and fake news there. And by the way, I looked into Miss Anastasia J. Casey, which I'm going to assume is not the real name of the person who published it. And she doesn't have any other books, and potentially it could be linked to an AI company, according to Grok. Right, I've already dispelled one of the rumors. Let's get into another rumor. And in fact, let's just dive right into the ring rumor. I'm going to start with that. Well, there's this big rumor going all over social media, right? It shows Charlie Kirk with his left hand, and you can see the big ring there on his left hand. And that's, I guess, his ring finger there on there. And people are saying, oh, it switched fingers. There's something wrong with this. And I'm going to show you the picture after he got shot, but I have removed all of the gruesome details, so you're not looking at anything gruesome. But you can see the picture of his ring right there. I'm trying to zoom it in a little bit. I'll just kind of throw that up. But you can see it suddenly switched fingers as his arm goes back. All right, and here's the deal. There's a lot of people saying, oh, see, it was all this or this. First of all, it could easily be done by editing in like photo or, some kind of Photoshop thing, right? But it could also easily be explained by this, right? Charlie Kirk was often known for playing with his ring, and there's that very same ring. And as you can see, it's a hinge ring. And it's going to show you here in a moment. As he turns it, see, it's got no back, means it's open in the back. Very likely, as he was known to do, he was playing with the ring in his hand, as you see him doing here, and he may have just switched it before that had happened onto another, if it's not, some kind of Photoshop. But it's an open ring there, as you can see. And this is one that he wore. So no conspiracy there. That just got blown out of the water. And I think they were even using, the left was using this as a, oh, he's not really dead kind of a thing. Okay, first, go to hell. I don't like people who make crap up like that. I am very sad. He died in a very horrible way. The whole world saw it. And these people are just insane. But they were using that as some kind of validation, right? But there's also this, right? And this one also went around on right and left-wing circles here, but you can see a post here on this. And this is regarding the New York Times and supposedly LA Times. Now, and this is the claim. The New York Times and LA Times both wrote about Charlie Kirk being murdered before he was murdered. Normally, this could be something called article backdating. Okay, which would be an easy explanation. But according to Grok research, there is no history of these articles being backdated. Kind of like this, you know, when I talked about this book, how they picked their own date, you've got backdating, right? But Grok couldn't come up with the glitch. The problem is, I tried to look this up on archives and Wayback Machine. I have nothing on it. There is nothing I can find whatsoever regarding the New York Times and LA Times having wrote about his murder before he was murdered. And this is the video on it.
Charlie Kirk. First of all, I am devastated. I am stressed. I hope he's okay. I was just Googling this and something blew my mind. This just happened September 10th. If you look on Google right now.
So, Google.
19 hours ago, posted by New York Times and Los Angeles Times. 19 hours ago, saying Charlie Kirk was shot. 19 hours.
Now, I want to see the proof, and she shows you a grim shot.
This doesn't make sense.
So she shows you a little bit there, Ellie, with 19 hours ago.
19 hours ago.
And then she shows the date.
It's the 10th. This doesn't make sense.
So that's what was going around. I cannot verify that. There is nothing on the archive files. So in my opinion, can't really validate it, right? And that's what I'm going to sit at. There was nothing on the internet that I could find. So that one I'm going to sit on the same of. If it's not there, I don't know what they're talking about. Couldn't find anything regarding that. So I'm going to put it on the rumor category. Now, moving on just a little bit more, there were some claims going around that claimed that the Vikings, Justin Jefferson, and many others, by the way, gave support to Charlie Kirk in the tune of, I believe it was hundreds of thousands of dollars. But this is all fake news as well. And this is on StarTribune.com. Viral social media post falsely claims that Vikings, Justin Jefferson, pledged to support Charlie Kirk's family. This is absolutely fake news. Then there was also multiple people. NFL stars did not make $300,000 donations to his family. Did Jalen Hurts, Travis Kelce, Nick Boaz, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, and many others you can see there all give a $300 donation? No, that is not true. And what really solidifies this for me is the fact that it's so many people. It's just BS. That doesn't happen in real life. And then what solidified this as fake news even more is the fact that they did the same thing with Elon Musk, who also stepped in and is going to support his children. None of it is true. None of that has been confirmed by Elon or any of that. So yet again, rumor, fake news category. Now, I'm going to throw this in here about Stephen King because the man is wicked to the core. He went on, I believe it was social media, attacking someone saying Charlie Kirk advocated for stoning gays, literally. And now he's issued an apology. I have apologized. Charlie Kirk never advocated for stoning gays to death. You're damn right. You're damn right, because he could have had some lawsuit by the family with that. So he had to retract it. It's not true. That never happened. It was fake news started by Stephen King. You know, he is the author of some pretty nonfiction. Oh, Lord. I'm cracking myself up. Meanwhile, there's more information coming out. Another rumor that has started that says Netanyahu is behind the killing of Charlie Kirk. And by the way, they got they have the killer now. It's a 22-year-old named Tyler Robinson. And so that information has now surfaced, and they've got him. He's a 22-year-old. I don't believe it had anything to do with Israel, but here, nonetheless, it was so bad of a rumor that Netanyahu had to address it, right? Here's Huffington Post. Newsmax host asks Netanyahu if Israel is behind the killing of Charlie Kirk. The host, Van Susteren, asks him, hey, some people on the internet said that basically somehow Israel's behind the murder of Charlie Kirk. I don't believe it for a second, but I want you to, tell me about it. Netanyahu laughed before proceeding. It's insane. Israel also changes the orbit of the moon. Israel pushes the sun. I mean, the whole thing is just insane. I think it's absurd and stupid and ridiculous. And I'm going to call it kind of ridiculous too. I don't see any motivation there for him to worry about And I don't mean for him to worry about the likes, for him to worry about Charlie Kirk at all. I don't see the motive. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's that. And so that's yet another rumor, and I'll leave that kind of with you guys. But there is one true thing going around on the internet. Well, there's a lot more truth. There's a truth to the story. I've already did videos on that. Hopefully you saw my post yesterday with the Jezebel article. If not, you want to go back and watch it, because that is true. Jezebel published that article a day before all of this happened with Charlie Kirk. But this is real news, and this is on Newsmax. Fundraiser for Charlie Kirk statue at UVU launched. Thankfully, I like that. Utah lawmaker has launched a $50,000 fundraiser to erect a memorial in Charlie Kirk's honor at the Utah Valley University after he was shot on campus on Wednesday. Absolutely love it. True. Figured I should throw some real news in there for you guys as well. And the reason I really wanted to address this is because a lot of people have been asking me, what's true, what's false, what's going on, and all of that. And there's a lot of people on Facebook making crap up. There was this one guy who's on Facebook, and he's like, oh, he had a blood bag. I mean, I'm gonna just silence this guy. It's just retarded. And it's disrespectful. Freaking respectful, and I can't handle it anymore. They're insane. But anyway, they did thankfully catch the suspect on a good note. Suspect in Charlie Kirk's killing is identified by officials as Tyler Robinson. So they have the guy now in custody. Thank God. But they have the young man, 22-year-old man from Utah, college-age student, and I believe I'm not sure if he went to the university. Still got to read up on some of that, but they definitely do have him in custody. So that is freaking good news that they have tracked down this guy. And like I said before, I hope they put the full extent of the law on this guy, and, potentially even the death penalty. Eye for an eye, tit for tat, whatever. I know I say that off and on. But anyway, wanted to bring all of that to you about what's going on. Can't wait to read your comments on some of that. But as a reminder, please sign up for restrictedrepublic.com. We got all kinds of good information and goodies there that you are absolutely missing. I'm going to be putting another report up there today, exclusive to the platform. So sign up for restrictedrepublic.com today. Use the coupon code Lisa and the number 5 to get it for $5 per month. I really hope that you go there and support us and get that inside scoop. With all of that, I love you guys. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.
What else can be done? For everyone on the left who is celebrating the death of one of our comrades, there's nothing else to call him. Do I look like a person who is scared to fucking fight you? None of us are. Over the past couple of days, I have seen some things on the internet that are so heinous, there aren't really words for it. And that's why this is about, aren't we all done talking? When do we start fighting? No, this isn't some hoorah bullshit. This is pretty damn serious. The left has been celebrating Charlie Kirk being shot. We have people fucking profiting off of the murder of Charlie Kirk by selling t-shirts.
Punk with a camera. This is what he's selling. With the laughing emoji. Unbelievable. There's his other t-shirt as well. What's so funny about this? And he's looking to make a profit off of it as well?
I am not kidding when I say that the government needs to sanction a fucking fight between all of us. The government is not going to do anything. Our government needs to step aside, make it legal for us to have one big ass fight, because that's what we need. We have YouTubers, this dude named Hassan, saying conservatives need to be gutted like a fucking fish.
Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponent's guts on there, okay? You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the fuck is this shit, man? Slice them up. Slice them and fucking dice them.
Hey, Hassan, would you say that to my face? We have people commenting on a picture of Erica Kirk holding a rosary out, telling her that her kids now have no father. Whatever happened to just being able to disagree with someone? Oh, you're a liberal? Okay, I don't really care. I really don't. Want to know the difference between a liberal and conservative? A liberal has nothing to lose because they don't fight for anything in their life other than trying to fuck with us. We have families, jobs, people that depend on us. All of them, just another day for them. We got another guy cheering with a microphone like he's a damn demon.
We got Charlie in the neck. Who's up next? We got Charlie in the neck. We got Charlie.
I want to ask our government something. What do you recommend we do? They are clearly attacking us. And I want to be able to say that Charlie is the last one, but I have had conversations with people who have had music tours scheduled, big people on YouTube who've been planning to do speaking events, and people are legitimately saying, do I cancel it? Am I going to be next? Because there is never a consequence. Never. Presidents, the left side of America, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they have called us white supremacists. They have told America that white supremacy is the greatest threat to America.
Start calling his supporters racist as well. That MAGA symbol has come to represent something. It is the new Nazi symbol. It is the new hood.
Because they're not a party. Right? They're Sinn Féin to the IRA. They're the PLO to Hamas. They're a dime store front for a terrorist movement.
The Republican Party is basically a domestic terrorist cell at this point, and they should be treated as such.
There are elements of the GOP that are starting to look like the jihadists.
Not a political party. They're a white nationalist movement. They're a fascist threat to our nation. That's not hyperbolic. That's academic.
Would have once seemed hyperbolic, but it increasingly does feel like the Republican Party has become a death cult, and it's all about Donald Trump.
There is no alternative right now because the Republican Party project today is a fascist authoritarian project.
Fact is, Republicans in Congress are still in the grip of the ultra-MAGA agenda.
Party of dupes, party of knuckleheads, party of weirdos, party of freaks. So that is a simple message.
When you label a group that bad for that long, there are going to be some stupid people out there who try to take us all out. And then what do? Oh, it's cool. He'll have his day in court. We don't want that. We're tired of that. Our judicial system is the biggest crock of shit known to mankind. You go out and you murder somebody. You go out and stab a person on the bus. Here's a bed. Here's an air-conditioned room. Here are 3 meals a day. Here's somebody to wait on you if you have a medical emergency. Here's health care. Here's dental care. You know what we call that? That's fucking prison in the United States. That's what they get. For someone who is willing to do something like that, do you think all of the stuff I just said is a scary enough thing to stop them? Here we go. We got a guy by the name of Jacob Nestegard. Listen to what this fuck said.
You support his death?
Fuck Charlie Kirk.
You support Charlie Kirk being killed?
Yes, I do.
On the day he died, you're here at a vigil for Charlie Kirk and you support his death.
Do you support a Nazi?
No, I don't support a Nazi. Charlie Kirk wasn't a Nazi. You support his shooter?
Yep, sure do. Freedom.
You support Charlie Kirk's shooter?
Sure do. He did us all a favor.
Would you shoot somebody like Charlie Kirk?
I would have killed him myself.
You would have killed him yourself? Okay. Do you have a job here in Seattle?
Nope. I take that for a look.
Oh, you would have killed him yourself. When is enough enough? I can tell you right now, as a Christian man, as a man who follows God fiercely, it is very, very hard to not just become a straight savage right now. Here is Malcolm X, just flat out saying it.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox, and a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to, but the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling. You take him for a friend.
So, if it was up to me, we'd just have a war right now. There's no more talking. I don't even want to be doing this. I want to strap my boots up and go meet one of these fuckers in public. Oh, okay, you're real badass on the internet, brother. Let's go meet up, Hassan Piker. Come try to gut me like a fish and see how that goes for you. I can promise you I am very fucking real. And unlike you, I'm not just sitting on the internet acting like somebody. And as far as the government goes, you guys don't do fucking shit. The FBI, the ATF, the CIA, any 3-letter agency. Just understand that One, you guys have handled this whole thing like shit. Oh, it's a trans shooter, and we found his rifle in the woods, even though he didn't have a rifle when he was running away from the building. Start meeting us on our level of intelligence, because it is no longer 1950 where you can just tell the public something and they're like, oh, the FBI said it, so it's okay. Nope. Show us what's in the Discord of this guy. Show us who he's connected to. Pull up everybody who he's ever talked to, figure out what they know. We are tired of these smoke and mirrors. And then you need to let both sides handle their fucking business, because let me tell you what's going to happen if we don't. There's going to be another and another and another, because their side, they have no heart. They don't understand that these are fathers, mothers, sons. They just look at him and say, oh, he said something mean about my boyfriend's pronouns, so I gotta kill him. That's what it is. So let us handle our fucking business.
Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO."
So they found him. They know who it is. This is the guy. I'm sure some of you, if not all of you, unless you're just getting home from work, have heard that the person who ended Charlie Kirk's life on that fateful day on September 10th, 2025 is 22-year-old suspect Tyler Robinson. He's a Utah resident. And there's all this talk about, so I'm gonna dissect. You saw Governor Cox right there saying that they have specific information and intel of engravings that were on the bullets. Well, I did some research. I also have a son who's a gamer. He's not 22, he's only 13, but I've done my due diligence. I'm going to go through it step by step, each one of those phrases, what they mean, what they imply, what they're normally associated with, et cetera, et cetera. There's so much misinformation that is being spread like wildfire because the Hippocrats, aka the demon rats, aka the Democrats, are scared to all hell. They're running and scurrying like the rats they are, trying to protect themselves because they know the truth that this shooter, and I'm going to break it down for you. By the way, I'm going to, as I always do in full transparency, I will give away my notes for free. You can have them. I'll tell you how to get them if you're interested. Stick around to the end. They know exactly what I'm going to illustrate today, that this individual, this 22-year-old, Tyler Robinson is his name. He was not radical, right? He was not a conservative. He was not a Trump supporter. As a matter of fact, quite the opposite. As a matter of fact, he used the exact same language, the exact same rhetoric that all of you disgusting hypocrites have used against Trump and his supporters for 10 plus years.
The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, said, "No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core."
This This is the one that you have to share, Nez Nation. This is the one that you got to tap that thumbs up. You got to leave a comment, because more and more dangerous misinformation, they're actually trying to call this guy now, all these liberal nut job, whack job influencers and content creators, they're trying to tie together. Oh, this guy was MAGA. No, this guy was a Trump supporter. No, this guy, it was in Utah. Utah's highly conservative. It's such BS, and I'm going to prove it to you step by step. We have to stop these guys. We have demons living amongst us. This is the one right here. So this is Tyler Robinson's headshot right here that you heard Governor Cox speaking to. This is what he looks like right here. Okay, so let's break down each phrase, each engraving that was on the bullet casings, what they mean and who they're typically associated with. Are they typically associated with the right? Are they typically associated with the left, independents, centrists, Marxists, Leninists, right wing, left wing? Let's figure it out. So the first one seems pretty abundantly clear, especially after that clip I shared of Tampon Tim. One of the engravings read, "Hey, fascist!" exclamation point, catch! Exclamation point. So the cultural meaning behind this is a taunting phrase directed at fascists, implying an act of resistance or attack. It's not a widely established historical slogan, but fits into modern anti-fascist rhetoric, often used in protests or online to mock authoritarian figures. Associations strongly tied to anti-fascist activism, Antifa. Aha! Which is predominantly, you guessed it, left wing. Media reports on the incident describe it as an anti-fascist slogan popularized in leftist circles. It's not commonly linked to right-wing groups who might embrace fascist-leaning ideologies rather than oppose them, although there's no evidence that would ever prove that any right-wing group that I know of embraces fascist-leaning ideology. So let's just say, for the benefit of the doubt, there are conservative groups out there. There are right-wing, quote-unquote, groups out there who embrace fascist ideologies. This phrase right here, "Hey, fascist, catch," is 1,000,000,000% associated with Antifa, left-wing, leftist factions. And just because they're all scrambling right now to distance themselves from the responsibility, which is literally the MO of anyone and anything that is even closely tied or related to a leftist, including all the academic institutions that I used to work at, which are abominable, teaching kids, their indoctrination camps, to hate America, hate success, hate capitalism, hate everything about anyone who actually works hard and earns their own living. I'm going to share with you a little video montage that just shows and illustrates quite perfectly. This is the kind of language that has been polluting the airwaves, polluting television sets, polluting the highways and byways of conversation discourse in America for God knows how many years. Enjoy.
Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Right now, the question is, are Republican members of Congress going not only to roll over to Donald Trump's will, but to roll over our democracy and allow him to take over this country as a fascist dictator?
A fascist political party embraces or refuses to disavow political violence as an instrument for obtaining and maintaining political power in society. So everybody was on Joe Biden's case when he said that there were semi-fascist characteristics of the Republican Party. But I'm sorry, if the shoe semi-fits, you semi-wear it.
Carol, it could be any of you. It could be anyone who stands against a fascist regime that is threatening a war against its own American cities.
They have decided that the only way that they can bring about this white supremacy agenda.
I want to play this really quickly. This is an audio of Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre years ago. Well, not that long ago, actually, last year during the election cycle, when asked, this was right after President Trump had more than one assassination attempt. I was live during Butler, which was one of the most terrifying broadcasts I've ever seen, next to this Charlie Kirk broadcast, because I was live when I found out he was gone. I still can't believe it. But listen to what she says When asked, a reporter says, well, isn't this the same type of rhetoric that causes all this violence? Listen to her response.
In the president's Christmas address, he called for Americans to reject the poison of politics. But last year, he compared his political opponents to segregationists, labeled them semi-fascist. Don't comments like that contribute to political poison?
Look, the president is going to call out what he sees, right? That is his job as a president.
And there's no question that Donald Trump has visions, as we saw from his video with the Unified Reich, which was a completely knowing and intentional inclusion in that video. Let's be real here. He is paving the way to become a Vladimir Putin or to become an Adolf Hitler or a Kim Jong-un. That's what he wants to be.
Every down ballot race matters. This fascist administration didn't come from anywhere. They have planted the seeds for years.
You have two choices, or you don't vote, but you have two choices if you do. Dealing with their challenges. And the other, Donald Trump, is about taking us backward.
The other is about fascism. Why can't we just say it?
Yes, we can say that.
Donald Trump is a fascist.
We're not going to let him stop us. Are you with me on that? Ándale. It also means, as Mark was saying earlier, we don't await the punch thrown by these would-be fascists to land. We punch first and we punch harder. You may say to yourself, well, those aren't the rules. There are no refs in this game. Fuck the rules. We are going to win whatever it takes. We're going to take this to them in every way that we can.
Sorry, I know some people's sensibilities. I respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth.
What happened to the party of joy? What happened to the party of tolerance? What happened to the party of hugging flowers and hugging trees? I mean, for the love of God, gee, I wonder where this young 22-year-old impressionable young man whose his very own father admitted this guy had a normal upbringing. Yes, his family is registered Republican, but something happened. How long have I been saying it, Nez Nation? Something happened in the 4 years his father dropped him off at college, and he came back. Gee, I wonder what could have happened. What could have driven this young man? Well, let's look at the engraving. We know the first engraving. We got proof of that. Okay, here's what the second engraving. Bella Ciao Bella. Bella Ciao Ciao. I have no idea what that means, so I had to research this. So the cultural meaning, this is a repeated line from Bella Ciao, an Italian folk song originating from the 19th century, but famously adopted by Italian partisans, resistance fighters during World War II. It symbolizes farewell and resistance against oppression, particularly fascism under Mussolini. Ah, the theme of fascism keeps running through this thread. The lyrics evoke the themes of struggle, death, and defiance. In modern times, it's been revived in global protests. TV shows like Money Heist and activist movements as an anthem of solidarity and rebellion. Associations? Aha! Heavily associated with left-wing politics. What a shocker. Including communist, socialist, and anarchist groups due to its roots in anti-fascist partisans, so many of whom are left-leaning. There's even a kicker to this one. It's a staple in transnational leftist activism, from labor strikes to anti-authoritarian demonstrations, and rarely appears in right-wing contexts. But you've got people like Harry Sisson and these ridiculous influencers out there, left-wing page shills, the Holly Weirdos, the Clooneys, the Sean Penns, the Ethan Hawkes, Cynthia Nixons, the View, all these absolute cockroach vermin spreading nothing but lies. But wait a minute. So that's 2 out of, what is that, 5? 2 out of 4. Okay, so maybe the rest. Maybe we'll do 50-50. Let's see. The third engraving. If you read this, you are gay. LMAO, capitalized, which means laugh my ass off. Cultural meaning. This seems to be a playful or ironic troll meme often used in online spaces like Game It. And I talked to my son about this. E.g. references to Helldivers or similar games, yada, yada, yada. We know what laughing my ass off means. Here's the association. Not strongly political on its own, but in online meme culture, it's linked to ironic edgy humor from platforms like Discord, Reddit, or gaming forums, which often overlap with dun dun dun, dun dun dun, progressive or LGBTQ plus friendly spaces. Is that a big shock? In the context of other engravings, it's been tied to left-leaning online trolls rather than right-wing ones, though it could appear anywhere and meme culture. So that's 3 out of 3. Radical left using the exact same language that has been polluting young people's minds in the indoctrination camps, in the mainstream media, and with tragically elected officials who should know better. He's only a pawn in their game. His game at Gribbers was caught by the bullet he caught. I could have played Bob Dylan. No, I don't. I don't look a thing like him. Anyway, I could have been Bob Dylan in what's that movie called? With Timothy Chalamet. Something a complete unknown. Okay, last one. I don't know. I'm kind of stir crazy because I've had shingles forever, so I apologize. None of this is funny. There's nothing about this that's funny, and I apologize. I'm still heartbroken over Charlie, and the whole point of this video in our channel is to make common sense go viral, to combat these demons who want to destroy our country. It's quite frankly, that's all they want to do. They want to destroy our country, right? Okay, number 4. Notices, bulges, OWO, what's this question mark? I have no idea what the hell this is. This is a well-known meme from the furry fandom, whatever that is. It's an online thing. Okay, that's fine. The associations. Primarily linked to the furry community, which has strong ties to LGBTQ plus culture. Many furries identify as queer or trans, and tends to lean left politically due to emphases on inclusivity, creativity, and opposition to conservative norms. So overall, these engravings collectively point to themes of anti-fascism, resistance, and edgy online humor from subcultures that align more with the political left. Is anybody shocked by this? And I posted this on X. Here's my Bob Dylan kind of sort of connection here. One of his songs from his 1964 album, The Times They Are Changing. Some of you are old enough to remember this. 2 eyes took the aim behind a man's brain, but he can't be blamed. He's only a pawn in their game. I can't play the song, otherwise I'll get copyrighted. But you should all be following me on X because I post, it's literally the last bastion of free speech online, and X is really the place that I post the most. My fellow Americans, Charlie Kirk's assassin, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, thought that he was ending fascism when actually he was the fascist, because when you shoot somebody for having opposing views instead of debating them, that right there is fascist. The left and the woke like to say that words are violence. Wrong. Violence is violence. And Charlie Kirk was a perfectly innocent father, husband first, but he loved his country, just like we love our country. And he tried to engage in people in discourse, something I tried so hard to do throughout my career when I worked in the public sector as a university professor, but they did everything in their power to quell me and to really suppress me because I didn't want to fall in line, which is why I eventually left. And now I'm doing full-time media. So we need this video to go viral. This individual had a typically normal childhood, raised in a Republican predominant family. But once he was sent to the indoctrination camp, and make no bones about it, I will put everything on this. I will liquidate my entire profile and put it on this because I was there. I know these people. I worked with these people, and they're all the same. The Obamas, the Kamalas, they're all the same. Once he left to the university, aka indoctrination camp, and came back, it was a completely different young man. He had been radicalized. He'd been polluted to hate his country, to look at anybody who was on the other side of the aisle, anybody successful, anybody questioning, Anybody trying to say, hey, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't have men in women's bathrooms. Hey, you know what? It just doesn't make, it's not the American way. The American way is about hiring the best person, not to this false presumption of equity and inclusion, which is essentially discriminatory in nature, such as DEI woke policies. DEI is the worst contagion that's ever afflicted our society. It is the worst virus. Ebola's got nothing on it. And if you thought that November 5th, 2024 was the end of it all, you got another thing coming. We won the battle on November 5th, 2024, but the war rages on. And Charlie Kirk, the tragic, fated. I still can't believe it. We won the war, but the battle rages on, and I need your help. Tap that thumbs up. Share this with everybody you know. Leave a comment. Also, YouTube's suppressing our videos, so make sure you subscribe. Tap that bell notification. Turn on all notifications so you never miss a thing. I can't wait to hear your thoughts.
Let this be a warning to those who bring the fight. You traded the cross for the crescent's might. Our awakening now fills you with dread. Now face the children of those who bled.
They storm the beaches under fire,
through smoke and blood, through mud and wire.
they held the line when hope had fled.
They were the men who fought and bled. We are the children of those who bled. We won't bow down, we'll fight instead.
The torch they pass still lights our way, and we will guard it come what may.
We are the children of those who bled.
They gave their lives so we live free. Now their charge falls on you and me.
We fight for our daughters and for our sons. We won't stop fighting till the battle's won. We are the children of those who bled. Born of heroes alive and dead.
The torch they pass still lights our way, and we will guard it come what may.
We are the children of those who bled.
Their blood runs strong through our veins.
Their courage lives in us, it will remain.
We warned you once, you should have fled.
Now face the children of those who bled. We are the children of those who bled. Born of heroes alive and dead.
The torch they pass still lights our way, and we will guard it come what may.
Ever since the Great Awakening, thousands of content creators like myself have been burning the midnight oil well into the wee hours of the morning, and millions of us who are awake are not getting enough sleep. Everyone knows that a good night's sleep is essential for efficient functioning of the cognitive processes that enable a person to discern truth from fiction and deep state-induced woke dementia. Well, years before I was asked to be an advertiser for MyPillow, I have been using their products. The first product I used was, of course, the pillows. I was impressed with the comfort, and I was able to fall off to sleep almost immediately rather than having to fight a bag of foam and trying to get comfortable. The pillowcases and Giza sheets are absolutely the bee's knees, and I have sets for the 2 beds I have in my home. Another thing is their body pillow. I suffer from a lumbar spine injury that is exacerbated by my preference to sleep on my side. Having the body pillow to roll onto alleviates the pressure and mitigates the discomfort, allowing me to fall asleep quickly. Mike Lindell, a great American patriot, has an entire line of quality products that everyone should try. Once you sleep with the pillows and sheets, you'll throw the ones you have in the garbage or donate them to Goodwill. If you go to www.mypillow.com, there is a link in the description. As a viewer and subscriber to this channel, you can buy anything in the store for 66% off. That's 1/3 of the retail price. Just fill your shopping cart and use promo code N4T at the checkout. Take it from me, folks, I've been using Mike Lindell's products since 2015. There is nothing like them on the market, and I say this with 71 years of sleeping experience. Don't forget, use promo code N4T at checkout.